Hi everyone, welcome back to the Pot Smoker's Bible. My name is Zion. I'm the author of the Pot Smoker's Bible, which contains the prophetic book of Zion, where I get my name and authority. It comes from the Ketuvim, or Old Testament, of the Christian Bible. I use the King James Version of the Christian Bible to put together the prophecy of Israel, after I found a passage in the Bible that asks, who will put this in order for me? It became the Book of Zion, because the prophecy foretold of the publication of the book about the prophecy, which is written by the woman who becomes Zion. That'd be me. And today, in order to fulfill that prophecy and in actuality be Zion, for real, I'm publishing the book on social media. I'm doing it for free because there's no money in Zion. Where I'm taking us, we don't use money. It's not a thing. Actually, it's a toy in games. That's all it is. A toy. So anyway, I'm going to continue where I left off with the reading on the 54th chapter of Isaiah. And I was actually reading the final verse, or talking about the final verse. The final verse of chapter 54 of Isaiah says that no weapon that is formed against me will work. Everything that they try to use against me, I will counter. Every charge they make, I will disprove. Every person that seeks to prove me false will in turn be proven false themselves. I will condemn all those who try to condemn me. I will turn the tables on them all, and they will, in a sense, condemn themselves, as I prove each and every single point of truth that I make. In other words, the gray have provided me with a stacked deck. I will judge all who seek to judge me. This verse says that it is my right, as a prophet of the gray. The true God prepares his servants well. They are entitled to this unbeatable knowledge that no one can ever disprove. All of God's prophets can count on being able to prove every point that they make. That is the Gray's promise to all the prophets of Israel. Isaiah goes on in the 49th chapter, 14 to 23, which becomes Zion 7, 27 to 36. But Zion said, the Lord hath forsaken me, and my God hath forgotten me. Can a woman forget her sucking child, that she should not have compassion on the son of her womb? Yeah, they may forget. Yet will I not forget thee. Behold, I have graven thee upon the palms of my hands. Thy walls are continually before me. Thy children shall make haste, thy destroyers, and they that make thee waste shall go forth of thee. Lift up thine eyes and look about, and behold, all these gather themselves together, and come to thee. As I live, saith the Lord, thou shalt surely clothe thee with them all, as with an ornament, and bind them on thee, as a bride doeth. For thy waste, and thy desolate places, and the land of thy destruction shall even be too narrow by reason of the inhabitants, and they that swallow thee up shall be far away. The children which thou shalt have, after thou hast lost the other, shall say again in thine ear, This place is too strait for me. Give place to me that I may dwell. Then shalt thou say in thy heart, Who hath begotten me these? Seeing that I have lost my children, and am desolate, a captive, and removing to and fro. And who hath brought up these? Behold, I was left alone. Where had they been? Thus saith the Lord God, Behold, I will lift up mine hand to the Gentiles, and set up my standard to the people. And they shall bring thy sons in their arms, and thy daughters shall be carried on their shoulders. And kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and their queens thy nursing mothers. And they shall bow down to thee with their face towards the earth, and lift up the dust of thy feet. And thou shalt know that I am the Lord, for they shall not be ashamed that wait for me. It says that in a sense, I've earned this right, because this information wasn't just given to me. I learned for myself every fact that I bring to bear. It goes on about my suicidal tendencies. I begged to die for decades. I had to figure everything out on my own, and it was a very hard life. The gray never came face to face with me. I was never an abductee. The sperm donor of Rhiannon was, and so was my beloved. But I was left to wonder for 40 years if God was real, as I went crazy in my head. I know that the gray are real, because I found all of the evidence that I need on my own, here on earth. This passage gave me great comfort during my years of study and revelation. It assured me that God was always watching over me. I have had many experiences where the gray intervened on my behalf and saved my life in some cases. So I have anecdotal evidence of the gray keeping their promise to me. They do watch over me, and I am not forgotten. The next 3 verses tells me what will happen when I bring my news to my people. They will come to me in such numbers that even though I try to imagine them all, I will still be in awe of the sheer number of Zionites who I create. Isaiah 49:20 tells of an attempted adoption that happened in the early 2000s. My niece went to prison for child abuse, and I tried to adopt that child, but the father's family was given custody. It was a very sad time for me, but is just one more piece of evidence that I really am Zion. Many times I have wondered where all of these people are who I'm struggling to save. I've had almost no one who would believe me until I opened the temple. But even then, my fellow priests came for the pot more than for the gray. I'm not stupid. But even they will rally to the gray when I bring my true prophetic work to light. The last 2 verses in this passage promises me amazing glory when I stand up to fulfill the prophecy. I will reap what I have sown, and the world will see my truth. And I will be so overwhelmed by my good fortune that I will be in awe of what the gray have done for me. I can't wait to live out this fortune, because believe me, I deserve it. This brings us to Isaiah 66:10-12, which is Zion 7:37-39. Rejoice ye with Jerusalem, and be glad with her, all ye that love her. Rejoice for joy with her, all ye that mourn for her, that ye may suck and be satisfied with the breast of her consolation, that ye may milk out and be delighted with the abundance of her glory. For thus saith the Lord, Behold, I will extend peace to her like a river, and the glory of the Gentiles like a flowing stream. Then shall ye suck, and ye shall be borne upon her sides, and be dangled upon her knees. Isaiah 66:10-12 tells the world at large, and Jerusalem in particular, to be glad and rejoice, because Zion has been promised peace and plenty. Those who love her should be glad because they will enjoy all the good things that she has procured for her people. And those who mourn with her, well, the mourning's over. It also tells you that Zion brings peace. She is safe and secure, her people purged of their violent nature. All of the strife and prejudice and warfare will come to an end as the children of Zion embrace her peace and enjoy her newfound way of life. Isaiah 62:1-3 becomes Zion 7:40-42. For Zion's sake will I not hold my peace, for Jerusalem will I not rest, until the righteousness thereof go forth as brightness, and the salvation thereof as a lamp that burneth. And the Gentiles shall see thy righteousness, and all kings thy glory. Thou shalt be called by a new name, which the mouth of the Lord shall name. Thou shalt be a crown of glory in the hands of the Lord, and a royal diadem in the hands of thy God. Isaiah here says, for Zion's sake and for the sake of the Israelites, the Grey promised to keep busy preparing for our future. They will not rest until it's all said and done. The Grey are not idle. They work hard to ensure that everything goes according to plan. The righteousness is, of course, the use of marijuana. The brightness in the burning lamp speaks of our smoking of the marijuana. It tells us that the Grey approve of our use of pot. It is our brightness, our righteousness, and we burn it. The world will see our true purpose, and the belief that we are criminals will come to an end. The facts of the matter will be seen in their true light, and we will no longer be a nameless people, abused and imprisoned and oppressed for our use of marijuana and other drugs. The people of Zion will be proven worthy of our calling. We will make our Grey parent race proud of our efforts. The Grey will not regret their choices. Zion and Israel will be sure in the knowledge that the Grey are true to us. The Grey will be satisfied because we will be exactly what they intended us to be all along. The new name, of course, is Zion. In the Torah, only 3 people have their names changed. Abram to Abraham, Jacob to Israel, and Beulah, or Brenda, to Zion. My full name is Brenda B. Leanne L.A. Hines H. or Blah. It seems logical that Isaiah would put a U in my monogram to make it a name, Beulah, that he would recognize. Perhaps. And Brenda, of course, wasn't a name that he would have recognized. I am the third and final person to have a new name given to me by the Grey. This was done to glorify these 3 people, making them unique on earth. And there I'm going to end for the day, or for this episode. May the Grey watch over you, guide you, protect you, and keep you from all harm. May they teach you right from wrong, and may you be worthy of them. May your words, thoughts, words, and deeds reflect truth, good, and light, the unicorn way. Find your joy and pursue it. Make that your life sword. Stay happy and high. If you use drugs, you have every right and reason to. Know that I love you all, each and every one. We'll be together soon in Zion. Cannot wait. Until then, I'm going to say later now, because I will never say goodbye.